welcome back to the East Manchester Experiment, and today I have two games for you. The first game is against one of my local teams actually, Enfield Town, not too far from where I am. We're then going to take on old rivals Skelmersdale, the team that prevented us from getting promoted a year earlier than we actually did into this league. So bit of a grudge match coming up later in this episode. If we do win this, we've got Havant and Waterlooville waiting for us in the next round, which is at this level I think is quite a big game. Before the last game we talked about possibly coming back for the Atherton game. They were top of the league. We won that game, so I was really pleased to see that. In the league since then it's gone a little bit awry. We've lost 3 of the last 4, including that Trafford game which you saw. So only one win in 4 is clearly a problem. But the FA Trophy has been going very, very well, and as I said, there are some fairly decent monetary gains to be made from there, so that's certainly a positive. And if we can win today against Enfield Town, for which we are the marginal favourites, then obviously that would be some more money in our account. I'm just trying to think how much it is at this stage. It might be close to 10,000 now, I think. It was the second qualifying round, isn't it? It's 5,000, but still, that's obviously all going to add up and certainly help us out a little bit. We are still just about in the black, but it's not going to last that way for long unless we can get that run together and really get some more games going in that competition. So this is the team I think we're going to go with today. I haven't completely decided on it, but I think it's probably the best team. Troy Whitcomb, as you can see, has really hit a bit of form. 14 and 17 now in the league, in all competitions this season. Tim Akinola really finding some form of a couple of years ago again, which is great to see, and at a higher level. I didn't really think he had it in him, to be perfectly honest. I thought this might be a step too far, but he has proved me wrong, and he's made that step up, which is terrific. So yeah, generally pretty good. Since the last game, I did say last time I wanted to get 4 players in. I've only really managed to get one of those players in, unfortunately, and that is Clint Hamill, who looks decent. He's not brilliant, but he looks decent, and I think he might be an improvement in the long term, at least over some of the players we had. Brad Wild, massively out of form. I could certainly see him coming in for Isherwood if we don't get any further replacements, but it does mean that people like Morrison and Pollard probably now are yesterday's men, which I think at this stage of the game is probably a good thing. So yeah, that's the team we're going to go with today. As you can see, Elliot Legg's coming at right back. A bit of a blast from the past. We had him quite a while ago now. In fact, we brought him in our first season, and he did okay. Nothing special, but he did okay. And I brought him in really as backup. But right back's been a bit of an issue for us this season. Haven't really managed to find anyone who's been able to do something sort of consistent there. Jellyman 6.71 hasn't been doing brilliantly. Moran, he was doing better, but as you can see, his form's dropped off a little bit. So that's why I brought in Elliot Legg for a couple of games. He played a couple in the Cups, but now I'm going to start thinking about playing him, I think, a little bit more long term. Assuming he does sort of okay. I mean, 6.84 is fine at that position. I'm happy with that. And I think much below that, the sort of 6.6, 6.7 kind of area is not great. But that's the team we're going to go with. Hopefully Troy can continue his great run and we can win this game with the help of his goals. Just trying to see if there's anyone I recognise here. No, name rings a bell, but I think it might be a different Antwi. So yeah, this is our team today. Let's make sure we pick up from where we left off, because at least in the Cups we're doing quite well at the moment. As you've seen, not so well in the league, but hopefully that's something that we can put right as the season goes on. I don't think we're going to get relegated, so I'm not too worried, to be honest. It's kind of almost a dead season, because I don't really see us getting promoted either. And therefore, who really cares? It's not a lot of money in it in the league, so once I'm safe and once I know I can't go up, the league is kind of dead for the season. Smith has it in midfield out to Casey. Casey swings it in, aiming for Smith, and Smith is there, and Copland has saved. It's confusing having these two Smiths in the side, Ryan Smith and Javan Smith. Obviously, Javan is the striker, Ryan the central midfielder, or left back sometimes, but more often the central midfielder in this side. Certainly his best position. And Smith picks it up again. Little 1-2 with Whitcomb, out to Blakeman. Casey on the edge of the box, back to Smith. Akinola can shoot from there and goes wide. He certainly has the potential to score goals from that kind of range, though. Got to defend a little bit here, though. McDonald, Antwi, and Brett has scored. So the thing seems to be a bit of a pattern this season, particularly particularly in the league, that we attack and we attack and we attack and we can't get a goal. They come forward, get one attack and score, at least as far as the highlights are concerned anyway. And actually you can see in this particular scenario that was their first shot on target. They've had another one now, but nothing of note at all until that goal, which is, yeah, as I say, it's a little bit of a pattern. It's a bit worrying. We need to try and push forward, try and get a couple of goals. There's not a lot of point going for draws at this stage, and Willie McDonald has made it 2. Oh dear, it's not what I wanted to see really. Got work to do certainly to get back into this game, or even just to get back into a bit of form in the league. But we are, certainly since the goal, it's looked like we are on the back foot. Before that we were doing quite well. Maybe we can get one back here. Javan Smith has a shot, good save from Copland though. Enfield in a fetching pink number, I see. Isherwood clears it, but not far. And Antwi is there, and it's 3. Starting to get a little bit embarrassing now. Let's shut up shop and make sure we don't concede too many. Right, I'm just going to tell them basically that I want to see something better in the second half. We're not going to win this game now. We don't think we're going to get a draw, but it'd be nice to see us do a little bit better in the second half, because it's not really about the league. It's just about improving our performances and hopefully some of these players stepping up to be proper players at this level. There are certainly some who I have severe doubts about. To be honest, it's most of the team apart from the strikers. Matt Jones clears it long. Javan Smith gets on the loose ball, but it's another loose ball from him, which means that we're going nowhere. And Elliot Legg is going to get booked there. He's going to get sent off. He might be about to get sent off here. Yes, he is. Okay. And the annoying thing is my assistant kind of warned me about that. He did mention that he was looking like he might get booked, and it's turned out to be worse than that. 3 at the back. It's actually better for Koro anyway, so I'm okay with doing that. But yeah, 3-0 down and down to 10 men. This game is clearly over, and in fact I think we will cut it there. I will be back for your next game shortly. And here we are with Skelmersdale United. Bit of a grudge match, as I mentioned. We haven't actually beaten them yet. That one season where they were in the same league as us and they pipped us to promotion very narrowly. I think it might have been goal difference. And in fact we couldn't take more than 1 point off them that season was presumably a big part of that eventual reality. 4-3-3 narrow has been sort of problems. No, we do have a 4-3-3. No, we don't. We've got a 3-4-3, which is not quite the same. I think I'm going to have to just stick with what we know, because we are used to that after all. Things going pretty well with this team, to be honest. The defence obviously is a bit of an issue, but it has been for years. So what we're going to do, the attack hopefully will do enough to kind of counteract that. So yeah, that's the team we're going to go with, and a big game here. Partly because just the rivalry that seems to be developing to me, but also partly because we're kind of in need of a win. I just show you my recent results. Not been so good. Admittedly, these 2 results were in the cup, but we have lost the last 3 league games. So yeah, 3 league games without a win here. We need to try and turn that around. Clayton with the first highlight of the game so far. Hogg picks up the loose ball though. Can we make something out of this? Whitcomb over to Akinola. Wrong way round really. Moran picks the ball up, gives it back to Matt Jones, who presumably will clear it long. No, back to Moran. He clears it long, and Whitcomb could get on the end of this. Can he sure? Yes, he can. 1-0 to East Manchester. Troy Whitcomb, 16th goal of the season after a promotion, is certainly very good from him. Been pleasantly surprised. Akinola has it on the left-hand side, through to Whitcomb, who's picked up a little bit of a knock. Didn't notice that before, I have to admit. Can't quite get on the end of it though. And that's a very scrappy goal. It's just a bit too easy, just a tiny little chip in. Nobody tracks the runner, and it's a goal. Really disappointing from our defence there. Going to have to do something about this long term. Looked like it might have been offside actually, that one, but clearly wasn't. And here we are. This may help, because they are down to 10 men. I think that's the goal scorer, isn't it? Yes, it is. So the goal scorer sent off within a couple of minutes of scoring. And we're off for the second half. Wasn't particularly impressed with that performance, I have to say. We did get a goal, but we weren't really looking particularly threatening other than that. So I'm hoping that we'll see a little bit of an improvement in the second half, particularly with the other team down to 10 men, which means that we should have a bit more of an advantage. I'm still playing a bit cautious, but oh goodness me. 2 goals that are just completely avoidable. Right, we've got to start going for it now. It's a shame after such a good start, we just let it go within 8 minutes of play. Just completely let it go. And we're very much on the back foot despite being a man up here. We need to try and get a goal if we're going to try and win this game, which we need to. A point isn't really good enough at this stage if we want to start pushing up towards the playoffs, which I'm starting to think I want to do now. There's not a lot of point in keeping on playing this game if I'm going to sort of leave this game with this kind of season, because it could end up being just a very dull season where we're mid-table, never really looking like anything. So it's really important now that we kind of push for it. I'm not really going to accept draws at this stage of the season. That's a really poor ball. I think we're going to need to take Whitcomb off. I don't want to risk him at the moment. Got Wardhouse on the bench, who hopefully can do a job there. Here's Doherty running at us, gets shot off, but no joy for him there. We'd be 7 points behind Trafford in 5th here, so it would really help if we could get these extra 3 points and get close up to them. And Javan Smith has made it 2-2. Goalkeeper doesn't react well there. I'd been absolutely spitting if that had been my goalkeeper, I have to admit. Sedgwick just doesn't do anything, and Javan Smith follows up. Troy Whitcomb and Javan Smith have got a goal each here. Terrific stuff. Can we get that winner? The winner would make a real difference to us here. Get Blakeman on. I think I'll have Ryan Smith on the left though. Just some fresh legs really. Is there anyone else I can bring on? Try Berkhamshaw for the hog. Just fresh legs, no other reason. But it's looking like this may just peter out into a draw. We've got 5 minutes, let's just go for it. We've got an extra man. Blakeman shoots, goes over the bar. We've only got 90 seconds. I presume this is going to be a draw, but it might be one last chance here. Smith finds Waterhouse. Get the ball in, get the ball in. Oh, he's offside. That was a bit of a waste. And that will be the end of the game, I'm sure. 2-2 at home is not ideal, particularly with the opposition down to 10 men for a good portion of about half the game, wasn't it? So it's a shame. KC can't get there, and that is it. Really disappointing that. We didn't play particularly well. It would have been nice to get some proper revenge. Goodness me, some odd things going on in this game. 6-4 to, is it Mossley? Yeah, Mossley. Against Newcastle City, I think. Newcastle Town. I knew it was something like that. It's a shame, but at least we're getting something out of it. It means that we can kind of keep that gap over the bottom echelons of the table. Mid-table finish would certainly be no disgrace in this season. I still think it will probably be the last season, although whilst the update for FM20 that I need is available now, there's some edits that are still needing to be made to make it as realistic as it can be. So it may still be a little while, in which case we may still get one more season unexpectedly. But that will do for today. Just going to quickly go forward to have a look for you at where we're going to come back. It does mean that we're a little way off playoff places, which has to be the aim now, particularly if this is going to be our last season. It'd be nice to just have one last promotion, but it's starting to look like it might be hard now. Troy Whitcomb only out for a couple of days, so that's alright. In terms of when I'm going to be back next, see, again, it's going to really depend on how well we do over the next few weeks, because hopefully it would be against someone like maybe a Rushall, who we are playing. It wasn't Rushall. No, that's who we're playing next, so ignore that. But maybe Mossley Marine, Stafford Rovers. Mossley's too close. Steady Bridge, Shafton. I think we'll have to just see how it goes. I think there's not really an obvious fixture to go for here, I don't think. And we'll see how it goes. And I will be back. It will be sometime probably in January, maybe early February. We will certainly be back. I don't know whether I may cut down the number of videos this season if, as it seems likely, this is going to be a little bit of a dead season where we can't get relegated and we can't get promoted. I don't really want to spend loads of time doing loads of videos where none of the games really matter that much. But I will certainly I'll be back for something in January or possibly late December. for sure. And then after that, we will just see how things go. Um, Obviously, this does look like it will be the last season, which is a bit of a shame, particularly if it's going to be a bit of a dull season. But hopefully that will be rectified by the fact that my next game will be starting, and that should be good fun. So stick with the channel. Just noticed we've got 4 away games in the league in January and nothing else. Very strange bit of fixture computer work, that one. Not sure how that's happened. But as I say, we will be back tomorrow. Probably will be for one of those away games. Not sure which, but do join us then. Bye for now.